A lot of women I know are managing their homes on their phones, and I tried that. It always backfired for me. So now I manage our household of 8, homeschool our 4 out of 6 kids, and run this channel all on paper: a cheap notebook, a binder, and some chore sheets for each of my children. So if you've been trying to figure out how to manage your home without the pull of a screen, learning to think on paper might be exactly what you've been looking for. Here's the thing that I found about managing a home on a phone. Every time that I personally would pick it up to write a task, check a list, jot down a dinner idea, that was always just an opportunity every time to get sucked into something else, to notice that I have other notifications or a text message to respond to, or feel like I need to check one more thing, like an email or something. For me, it's best just to eliminate that temptation. So let me show you the 3 parts of my system. Okay, so here is my handy dandy paper system. It's cheap, easy, accessible. You don't have to have an expensive planner or anything. It's wonderful. One thing I love about this notebook, and I'll link it down below, I usually do, is it has 2 little bookmarks. So I like to keep one bookmark on my week at a glance, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And I like to keep the other one on my day, the day that we're on. I also love that this notebook comes with little tabs. So I have my rolling master's to-do list, which again, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And then I personally keep my grades in this notebook, projects, anything else that I might need to quickly turn to. That's a standing page, then I'll tab it. So anyway, I really like that. But every Sunday, so we'll start out with the Sunday reset. Every Sunday evening, I sit down and I do my weekly reset. Please forgive the chicken scratch. I was not planning on filming. I wasn't planning on filming this week, but here we are. So every Sunday evening, I sit down and do my weekly reset. So I map out the week. I look out the Google Calendar because that's where my husband and we just personally like to be able to see the week together from 2 different places. And it syncs. It works great. You can also use a paper planner if you prefer that. That's what I did for the longest time. But again, we're using Google now so that we can share a calendar. So I'll look at Google Calendar. I'll write the dates, Monday through Sunday, and then I'll write the days of the week here. On every little row, I'll write down from Google Calendar what appointments are happening during the week, any scheduled play dates or outings, or any happenings that don't normally happen in the week. I write it down. So Jeremy's been able to work from home because of the baby being here. And so he had to go to the office this week, so I wrote that down. So anyway, all that to say, I write that down and then shut Google Calendar and finish up. Then I do my meal planning for the week. And I have a whole video on this that goes into depth on how to do this in a short time on Sunday or whenever it is that you want to do. But I'll link that down below. I'm not going to go into that in too much of depth. But basically, all I do in my weekly planning is plan my dinners. I don't worry about lunches or breakfast because those are usually repeated, or lunches are just leftovers. So anyway, I will pull from our meal list, just our go-to meals based on what we have, and jot those down. Again, go check out that video if you want some help on meal planning. But I'm just going to keep on chugging along with this. But quickly, before I move on, based on whatever meals I'm going to do, if I don't have an ingredient, I just turn my page and I go ahead and write it on my shopping list right away so that I'm not having to think about it again. I'm not repeating trips to the store throughout the week if I can help it. I just really like jotting it down and even ordering groceries online for pickup if I have the time. So anyway, all that to say, that is that part of it. And then while I'm at it, I go ahead and do my evening planning for Monday. And I do this every evening, planning for the next day, every evening. It takes about 3 minutes. It is very quick and easy. So I write Monday at the very top. Usually if I have any extra appointments or happenings, I put it in the top right-hand corner for me to easily see. I put my to-do list here. And then I have a little column for kids, work, and Jeremy. This is basically extra things that I'm going to be doing with the kids on that day that I don't typically do every single day. I jot that down, work tasks that I need to get to, and then anything that I think about throughout the day that I need to touch base with Jeremy on, or we need to talk about. I'll write that here so that I'm not pestering him and texting him a million times throughout the day and interrupting his work. So this just helps me remember what to talk to him about. And then I write my dinner plans here. And I know it's all here, but I just like only looking at one page. It just helps my brain. So that way on Monday morning, I can hit the ground running. I already know what's happening on that day. It's all on one page. First thing in the morning, I like to go grab I like to go ahead and grab my meat out of the freezer to thaw if it's applicable. And yeah, it just really helps the day go well. So while we're on the subject of the to-do list, though, I'm going to kind of go back to that. I personally have a rolling master to-do list and I only do one per month. So here's my March to-dos. And then I can, whenever I'm ready to make my April to-do list, I'll just take this tab off and move it over. I pull, whenever I'm planning for the day, I pull from this and I pull from my binder, depending on the day and depending on what the needs are. I go into some of that more in some other videos, but I feel like we'll just stick to how the paper planning happens, or how it works. So I will pull from this rolling master to-do list. I will go ahead and put it over on my list for the day. And I don't always cross it out here because if I don't get to it here, then if I've already crossed it out over here, then I'm not going to remember to take care of it. So once it happens over here and I'm reviewing the list at some point, then if I see, oh, I already took care of that, I'll just cross it off. So anyway, I found this really helpful because the task list never ends. It's not supposed to. That's life. But this helps me keep track of everything that kind of happens and all the moving pieces. It helps things not slip through the cracks. But also, I don't have to get overwhelmed by an endless to-do list. I'm just picking a couple of things to take care of on a given day. If I get it done, great. I usually pick only one or two priorities. So I didn't do it here. I should have, but I would have put, if I have one priority for the day, I'll usually put a little asterisk. So that is my daily plan. So that's my notebook. And that holds all the moving pieces throughout the week, everything that kind of changes and that I need to keep track of. But I have a second piece of my Think on Paper system that holds everything that stays the same. And this is my home management binder. What lives here are my daily rhythms, my weekly theme days. If you've been around here long enough, you've heard me talk about theme days. My menus, some resources for personal use, or my business systems. So I'm going to take you through and show you what that looks like. I also have the dividers could probably be prettier, but here we are. It's all good. So anyway, so I have my daily rhythms here. This is my evening routine. Usually I have my daily routine here, but I actually tweaked it recently. So right now it's living on my refrigerator while I'm getting used to that again. And then here are Here are some of my weekly theme days. So I've got my weekly theme days at a glance. Monday, this is just the way that I've set it up. I have office day. I have kitchen day. I have cleaning and projects. We have errands day. So this is just how I've set it up. So I basically have those days at a glance so I can easily refer to that. And then if I want to look at a list of things I could possibly do on those days, I have what I like to call a task menu. So for kitchen day, I'm not going to tackle all of these tasks, but generally I have a block of time in the afternoon where I will tackle my chores for that theme day. So it's kind of hard to fully explain the whole thing in a short video here where I'm trying to explain the paper system, but you can go check out other videos that I've gone into more depth on that as well. But anyway, so like I said, I'm not going to tackle all of these, but as I'm planning for the evening and I'm writing out my to-do list for the next day, if I don't have anything pressing on that rolling master to-do list, then I will prioritize something here. Or if I have some big things I need to prioritize with kitchen day, I make sure to asterisk that. So it just kind of depends on the week and it depends on my home's needs. That's the beauty of it, is it's flexible. Kitchen day happens on one day of the week. And if something doesn't get done, it always comes back around the next week. So that's the beauty of it. So anyway, got my office day, cleaning day. Right now, I'm not doing decluttering or deep cleaning rotations. I'm at a bare minimum right now because we are in newborn season and we have a puppy and a toddler, and it's bare minimum for me right now. But the beauty of having things like this already in your system is whenever you start merging back into doing deeper cleaning or doing more projects, you've already made those decisions ahead of time on things that are important to you, and you can just work through that. So anyway, I also have some other personal resources that I've gathered over time. That's in the next divider, and that's very personalized. I mean, this is just me. Got some things that I printed off the internet that I thought have been helpful for our home, and then I've got some recipes that I have. By the way, if you want a lighter version of this, I have a toolkit called Faithful in the Little Things that has some pretty helpful resources that are simple, but it will help you start building a paper system for yourself and tackle some of the needs of your home. You can grab that down below, and I'm going to just keep on going. So for the last piece of my Think on Paper system is chores, and a lot of people ask me about this one. So these are our chore sheets. It's our paper system for the children. So I've tried a few different methods over the years. Before this, I've done chore cards. I don't know if you've ever heard of those. Did those. I've done everything for every child on one chart in the kitchen, and a few other things. I just recently landed on this system, and it's kind of a conglomeration of a lot of different methods that I've tried, and I'm really loving it. I know a lot of people use digital wall calendar for this, and for some families that works great, but for us, again, we just really love paper. It's one less screen in our home, and at this point in our lives, we don't really need it. So each child has, and I brought two different kinds. We have 6 kids, so I'm not going to show you every single one of them, but each child has their individual chore sheet, and that is it's a Monday through Friday, or actually Saturday, Sunday, because they have meal chores. So it's a weekly format. On the front of the sheet, we've got their morning routine and their chores for that day. And then on the back of the sheet, you can see we have their how to do the chore. So this is the thing that I love about it. I don't know if you can tell, this is laminated. When I printed this out and laminated it and handed it to my child, they know exactly Monday what they're expected to do. And then if they have any unique chores or anything that's a little bit more in depth, anything beyond hand washing dishes or loading dishwasher, she knows already how to take care of this. She's got the procedure on the back. So I actually made these with the intent to tape them onto a cabinet or tape them onto whatever in the room that they're going to be in. But I had a spark of inspiration to tape it onto the back of their chore sheet. And that way, when they take their chore sheet to go do their chores, they have it with them, and the readers can look at step 1, step 2, step 3. I've already trained them on it. They already know what to do. They know what I expect, but this helps prompt their memory to know what they ought to do. And these are just things that I crossed out and realized anyway, those don't apply to our home. So I actually crossed those out. So anyway, we've got her daily and her weekly chores for the quick. So our chore system, we do daily chores, and then we have one day of the week where we all as a family do more of a deep clean. So she also has her deep clean checklist or procedure list here. So she can just read through it, helps her remember what exactly I expect of her. When she's finished with her chore, she will literally bring this to me and tell me she's finished, and then I will take it and I'll go inspect her work. Something that I really struggled with was being consistent with following up on their chores. And so this has been really helpful to us because they have everything they need at their fingertips. And then they are to bring this to me. And my chore is to go check and make sure that they've done what I've expected of them. Anyway, it's really helpful. So it helps me be consistent. It helps them be consistent. It helps them learn the skill really well, helps them learn character and to be good stewards of the home. It's just been really helpful. And this is not everybody's a reader. Not all of the kiddos are a reader. This is our 4-year-olds, and he's got pictures on here. So, and also some words, obviously, but make bed, get dressed, put away pajamas, comb hair, brush teeth, pick up toys. So these are really simple chores because when they're starting out, it's just going to be really simple. So this is a lot of his morning routine. These are just little prompts to help him get used to taking care of things and doing what mommy said. So, and then bottom, work with a happy heart because we want them to cheerfully take care of things. But a lot of times that also starts with mommy cheerfully taking care of things. So anyway, so I have other chores around the home that I do for sure, but I do consider it, again, my chore to check their chores. As the manager of the home, I'm the overseer, and it's my role to make sure that my family understands how to do their jobs well. And it's my job as their mother to teach them skills like this and how to steward the home. It takes time, but again, with consistency and following up, it really does help. It helps the home run well. Everyone's working together. We're big believers in teamwork. So anyway, this has been really helpful for us. By the way, if we haven't met yet, I'm Lauren. I'm a homeschooling mom of 6, and this channel is all about building fruitful, life-giving homes through simple, God-honoring rhythms. If that sounds like something you need, go ahead and like and subscribe so that you don't miss my weekly videos. So I love paper because I go to it for the one thing that I'm there for, and then I walk away. There is zero temptation. And not only that, but research shows that you are much more likely to retain information and really engage with what you're writing down and reminding yourself of when you're writing it with a pen versus typing it out or copying and pasting. For me, I forget things even if I do copy and paste or type it out. It's just so much easier to forget. And not only that, but it goes beyond just helping me stay focused. When I open my binder to look at a recipe or my notebook to look at my to-do list, my children are not seeing me pick up a screen for those things. And that is big in today's world. I love finding any opportunity to avoid the screen because whenever they see mom looking at a screen, they don't know what I'm looking at. All they see is I'm looking at the screen. I could be solving the world's problems or checking a really important email or reading the Bible or doing something really productive and good. But they don't know that. They just see that I'm repeatedly looking at a screen and I'm not with them. And then they look around at the world and they see that everyone else is glued to their screen. And what I've found and what I'm seeing is that this just really shapes their perspective of what is normal. So not only does using paper help my mom brain, which is also clinically ADD, by the way, it also teaches healthy habits. When I'm thinking on paper and not regularly glued to a device, I'm demonstrating good habits to my children. They don't see mom picking up her phone all the time and having every reason under the sun to do that. And we all know that they learn so much more by watching than they do hearing. So this really is a big deal in today's world. We want our children to see devices and technology as tools and not to be ruled by them. And so for our family, it really started with mom and dad. So this is one strategy that I found helps me not only stay focused, but instill healthy habits in our kiddos in a world of screens. So that, my friends, is how I think on paper. And this helps me stay grounded in the life that God has given me and not in someone else's through a device. And if you want to start building something like this for your own home, I have some really valuable and helpful templates and resources down below in that toolkit that I mentioned, and that will help get you started. And if you want, you can also add on a light version of a home management binder to help you keep track of the rhythms for your own home. Again, the link is down below. Thank you so much for being here today, and I'll see you in the next one.